Hi everyone, welcome to ReeKay Sports Formula 1. Today we're going to be previewing this weekend's Portuguese Grand Prix. Will it be the race where Lewis Hamilton makes it 92 race wins and breaks Michael Schumacher's record? He equalled his record in the last race, winning the Eiffel Grand Prix, so they both have 91 race wins each. Great achievement, and now will this be the weekend where he goes on to break the record? We'll preview that race in a bit more detail, but before we go ahead and do that, let's look back at the last race a little bit more in detail. So the situation was, due to the poor weather on Friday, the teams could not run the cars in either practice session, which meant they had limited track time ahead of the qualifying and race with just Saturday morning's practice session. And in qualifying, the star performer was Bottas. He denied Hamilton pole. Hamilton was looking at a 6th successive pole, but Bottas put in a great performance to break that run for Hamilton. But the story of the qualifying was actually the performance of Max Verstappen and Red Bull. All season, Mercedes have dominated the qualifying. They've taken 11 poles in a row, many 1-2 lockouts, and they've always had a substantial margin ahead of the rest of the field. But Red Bull really put it to them in this qualifying for the first time. In the first runs in Q3, Max was actually on provisional pole, and then he didn't quite manage to get pole in the final runs, but he was still very close in third place. He was only 300ths of a second behind Hamilton in second. So that was a great performance from Red Bull, and it's been said that Mercedes don't really tend to work on their car at this point in the season, the current car. They tend to start focusing on the car for the next season because they're normally so far ahead of the field in recent seasons, as we've seen, very dominant. So they don't feel the need. They need to really keep working on this year's car. So they're now already working towards next year's car, and this gives Red Bull a chance to close up the gap, and they really did that. They brought a big upgrade package to their car in the last race, and even though they didn't have much time to tune the car in because of the loss of practice time, the car performed really well. And going into the race, so again, it was the Mercedes at the front, 1-2, great battle into the first corner. Hamilton was putting it to Bottas, but Bottas held him off well, drove really nicely around the first couple of corners to retain the lead, and was looking good. But then unfortunately his tyres went away from him. All the drivers were having difficulty with the track temperatures, controlling the tyres and looking after them. So unfortunately this caused Bottas to run wide, and then he surrendered the lead to Hamilton. And then to make things worse for him, he ended up having an engine issue which caused him a big DNF, and it's going to be a major problem for him now, as it seems like the World Championship is effectively over. He's now 69 points behind Lewis. It was already looking bleak for him before this race with a 44-point lead for Lewis. But now after the DNF and Hamilton going on to win the race, it's now at 69 points, which is a huge margin. And it's now nailed on that Hamilton's going to now go on and equal another of Michael Schumacher's records and make it 7 World Championships. So will he do it this weekend? So we preview the race. As I was saying, Red Bull did perform a lot well, even in the race. So once Bottas retired, Hamilton's main danger was Verstappen. Hamilton always had the upper hand, always had that safe lead of around 4 to 5 seconds, and ended up winning the race by 4 seconds. He had a bit more in his pocket as well. I think he needed it. So even though Red Bulls have closed the gap, Mercedes still have that pace advantage, and I'll expect that to be the same this weekend. Red Bull will have the chance, if the weather's better, obviously, to have more time during the practice sessions to tune in their new package, and could close the gap some more. That'd be good at making it an interesting qualifying and race, but I feel that Hamilton will have that bit too much again for Bottas in qualifying and the race, and being in the faster package of the Mercedes, they'll have too much for the Red Bulls and Max. So I'm going for Hamilton to get pole and the race win, with Bottas in second in qualifying and the race, and same with Max Verstappen finishing third in qualifying and the race. So unfortunately I don't expect it to be that exciting between the top three. I think Hamilton's going to be quite comfortable. Looking at the track itself, it's got a nice mix of corners, some slow, medium and fast corners, nice blend there, long start finish straight as well. New track, so the teams and drivers are really looking forward to this. We should see some close battles in the midfield, as we've seen most of the season. It's pretty tight between the likes of the Racing Points, the Renaults, the Ferraris and McLarens. So looking forward to some good action there. For lots of content, remember to keep it here, and please remember to subscribe, like and share. Thank you. Bye.